guys, it's Mooney and I am literally back from what seems like the grave. I've been out because school's been resumed, so, boredom. I'm taking these off because they're a pain. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make edible sugar glass. As you know, Halloween is right around the corner, meaning I am going to be making a few Halloween treats. So for this, I needed a sugar glass recipe and an edible blood recipe. I will be probably posting or showing the finished product somewhere when I find time. If I make a video after then with a small little get together with a few of my friends, that'll be how it'll have to go. So for this recipe, you're going to need corn syrup, cream of tartar, sugar, and you're also going to need water. So in addition to all of these, you're going to need a bowl, a deep pot or skillet, depending on whichever you use. Make sure that it's something that you won't stick to. A wooden or silicone spoon. I'm sorry, I'm reading off the recipe, so if you don't know this recipe, I'll make sure to try to provide it in the comments. I'll give you the keywords to search it by and the website I got it from, as well as a sheet pan, kitchen spray, or a silicone mat, as well as a candy thermometer. Now, if you don't know what a candy thermometer is, that's what this is. It'll have like different measurements for like what stage each one's at, and so you're going to want to get it to the hard crack stage, which is 300 degrees to 310. So I'm going to double check to make sure that's the same on this one. Yeah, 300 to 310. So we're going to be making this glass. Let's hope it works. I've never tried this recipe out, so I've never made sugar glass in general, so I hope this turns out good. So first, let me go grab the measuring cups. I'll be back. I also went and grabbed my wooden spoon, so let's start. So first, we're going to need our pan. I will most likely switch to a bigger pan if I don't have enough room, but we're just gonna have to wing it. I've never made it. So first, I'm going to use my sugar. I bought sugar specifically for this, but just use any sugar you want, actually. So this recipe itself takes about 2 hours. Takes 1 hour and 40 minutes. I understand that's a lot of time. You could be doing something else, but whenever you're trying to make something look really cool, if you've ever watched the show Halloween Wars, or Google it, you can Google sugar glass and it'll come up with amazing and beautiful things, which is mostly what they call pulled sugar. I watch enough cooking shows to know pulled sugar. Gotta make sure it's right. So you are going to need 2 cups, and I will be adding that to the bowl real quick. Alright, we've got 2 cups of sugar in our pan. Don't tip it over so much like I do, so it doesn't fall out. Alright, next I'm going to get some water. Alright, I did this backwards. It turns out it goes water, corn syrup, sugar, corn syrup, then cream of tartar. So I'm going to go ahead and handle those, and I'll be right back. I'll warn you now, your sugar will dissolve. So I poured all my sugar into the extra bowl because I want to follow this directly, because it says add the water, sugar, corn syrup, and cream of tartar. So I'm going to add it in that order. So now we're just adding the sugar. Now, when you add sugar to water, it will sort of dissolve. All this stuff's brand new. I bought it specifically for this, but you don't have that time. I don't have COVID. I'm telling you now, I don't. I just inhaled sugar, and that's not a very good thing to do. So you gotta remember as well that your corn syrup is going to be very, 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 I must emphasize, very sticky and gloopy, I guess I could say. Because as you watch it pour, it's kind of more or less, it's like oil. So it only needs a cup of that. There we go. And your cup will be heavy, so add it. Because this will be what solidifies it, I'm guessing. Okay, so after you add your corn syrup and all that, you're going to add a pinch, which I'm going to say is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just to give you an exact measurement, because a pinch is very hard to size. So I'm going to say I'll give it 1/8 of a teaspoon, and if it shouldn't need more, because that is the smallest measurement I can get for this in my set of teaspoons and cheese and all that. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move you all over to the stove, so hold on. Alright, now that we are at the stove, we can begin the boiling. So, we're going to put this on the smallest burner I've got, because I chose a very small pan. Mine's gotta go on a medium-sized burner. I lied, it's not a small pan. So, I gotta go grab my wooden spoon. So, with your spoon, I did pre-grease a pan for this. I used Pam, sprayed a whole bunch, and then I used a paper towel, and I wiped it so that way it would properly sit together, and that burner is still hot. We just got done with dinner, so it'll be completely hot. Alright, and it says here to add it on the wrong side. Okay, add pot to the stove top and set the heat to medium. So, right in the middle, I'm guessing, is what it wants. Okay, and you're gonna gently stir the mixture until it starts to boil. Then after it starts boiling, you can stop the stirring. So, I will be back whenever it starts boiling.
A few moments later.
Alright, we are bubbling away over here, so I've got my trusty candy thermometer because I have spent the last about 10 minutes stirring. So now we're going to use the candy thermometer. And if you don't have one of these, I have another way of testing it, but for now, since I have it, I'm gonna make sure this way works first. So, you insert the tip of your candy thermometer and watch as your red line is basically a thermometer, you just stick it in the food. I got mine from Walmart. You can probably get one anywhere. But right now we're approaching 200 degrees Fahrenheit, about 100 degrees Celsius, and we need to be 110 extra. So while we're waiting for that, I guess I will give you a little bit of background on the reason where I'm making these videos so early. I wanted to practice making this candy glass because if I'm going to do it, I want to have it down enough that I don't completely screw up and not know what I'm doing. So I did get this from a website. Actually, I got the idea from Pinterest, and after I got off of Pinterest, I was like, well, if I'm going to make that idea that I found, I'm going to need to make the edible blood and the sugar glass. So I decided to Google easy sugar glass recipes, and one of them popped up. I looked at several of them required real weird ingredients that I've never heard of. So I was like, I don't think that those are the ones. I lied, we're nothing near 200 degrees. We're at maybe 175, I think. I can't read thermometers very well. I haven't read a thermometer in years. Quite literally, last time I learned was in elementary. Now I'm a high school student. But on my little recipe that I got from my website, it also says that when it gets to the stage it needs to be at, it'll be a yellowish color. Another way is by getting a bowl of cold frozen water, basically ice water, without the ice. Don't put ice in there because that'll completely ruin the sugar. And you get a spoonful of that, and you dump it in there. And if it's real soft, malleable, it's not ready. But if it's real brittle and you can break it really easy, then it's right. Because this is exactly like glass, except it's edible. That's the reason they call it candy or edible glass. 1 second. Okay, so now we're just waiting for this to heat up. So the next video I'll be making will be in my Halloween costume. And since I'm making food, I'm not doing it in my Halloween costume. I'm not that crazy. So I spent a lot of time finding the right costume, finding out what I'm going to do, my aesthetic for the year. Ooh, I'm almost at 200 degrees. So as your thing starts climbing, after it got to the boiling stage, my recipe said I could stop stirring. But I did wash my spoon off so that way I can use it in case I need to use it to spread the glass around my pan. So I greased this pan with Pam, as I told you before. I greased it with Pam, and then I got a paper towel and wiped it down to make sure it got to every corner. Your sugar glass should not be too thick. And reminder, if you don't do this unsupervised, I have parents in the house. I'm not doing this alone. So I'm just working on making sure we get this at the right temp and all that. So yeah, I'll come back whenever it's ready and then I'll show you how to pour it.
A few moments later.
Alright, we are at a softball stage on our sugar glass, so I'm going to show you, let me move that out the way. I'm going to show you like the consistency it is at the softball stage. It's not at the hard, it's not where we need it, which is the soft crack, but if you look at it, it's kind of like taffy and very goopy, and you can definitely see all the bubbles, It looks really weird. So I want to show you guys what each stage looks like since we're approaching different stages very quickly. I've been holding this out, and so we're going to see what temperature that this is at. So right now I'm guessing it's at the softball stage, and where's my thing? There it is. Which is at about 240 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you're on the Celsius scale, it's 112 to 115. So, you know, for y'all that go by the metric system, I'm trying to accommodate, but I've never used the metric system. So, I will come back when it gets to the hardball stage, unless it's already there and I don't know it. Taking forever for the thermometer to work. Oh, and they're covered, and my hands are covered with sugar glass. Because I've been trying out this extra method to checking if it's... I'm going to look into that camera. It's just nice. Another way to see if it's done is by going in with a spoon, taking out a gulp, and putting it in some water that, like, this has had, I should say, had ice in it, and now it's just water. So basically we just gotta wait and see what stage we're at. So we're going really quickly to the hardball stage as well. So it's gonna take a little while, and oh shoot, no. My candy thermometer almost fell into the bowl. That was scary. So while we're waiting for it, I guess I'll kind of just keep looking at it because this is actually very interesting. And actually, a fun fact. So now we're at the hardball stage, which I'll show you how it'll look. It's kind of sticky, and it's stickier than before. That's for sure. Because I mean, that's really sticky. Okay, so that means we are at about 250, 260, 70-ish degrees. Let me check if I was right. Or firm ball, not hard, firm. I'm pretty sure it's firm anyway. Nope, we're at hard ball. So I was right, about 250 to 266. I was off by 6, but I was right on the 250. So now we're just waiting for it to get to the soft crack stage, then the hard crack. Then I will be pouring it into my pan. Trying to get it straight now because that's going to drive me insane. Alright, pan is straightened out. And so I'll come back whenever it's at its almost final stage. Okay, so it's very quickly going on to the soft crack stage. Which, I do not know what the soft crack stage looks like. As I said, I've never worked with sugar. All I know is this one is a lot thicker. Like every step it gets thicker. So we only have a few more, hopefully only a few more degrees that it needs to get to be at soft crack, at hard crack, which is what we need it to be. And as you can see, the mixture is definitely turning a yellowish color. Well, you can't see because the camera doesn't pick up the coloring because it's so light. But it is definitely turning into a very thick and a very soft, like yellow. Like if you've ever dyed eggs without vinegar, that yellowish color. To where you know it's yellow, but it's also really close to like a white. Let me see if my camera will pick up that color. I have everything in a stand. So I don't know if it'll pick up the color or not. Kind of praying that that's on the right thing. But that's what it looks like. I know the camera's not picking up the coloring as well as I wish it would. So that's what we're at now. And yes, I did shrink down so I can make sure that everything's straight. I'm not even going to try putting that back in the case because that's a pain. Okay, I know I'm lopsided, but oh well. We're at the hard crack stage, which is really, really good. That's where we want to be. So now that we're there, now that we are like that, where is my spoon? I will show you the method that the guide says you can use if you don't have the candy thermometer. And after it gets to the coloring, I'm going to grab a spoon. Alright, so I'm going to get a small spoonful of it, drip it over here, dip, let it freeze, let it get completely frozen. Ow! Okay. And now you got sugar glass. I just tried that method. And so if you don't do that, I'm going to let that sit in the water.
You helped reunite me with my daughter. I'm never going to forget that.
Now we're going to dump it.
I'll never stop being grateful for having you in my life. Okay, Kelly.
Turn your stove off so you don't burn yourself. So now that it's like that, I'm going to kind of spread it kind of more or less out. Then we gotta put this in the sink because it needs to kind of cool off. Alright, it's cooled off. It's cooling, I should say. And so this is what it'll look like. It actually does look like glass. I did try that method of just putting it on a spoon and putting it in the water. My camera probably won't pick up on it, but there's actually the candy glass on the spoon, and it's very clear, exactly like real glass is, which I think is actually really cool. So this actually worked. Pardon the surprise in my voice. I have never done this. I had a strong feeling it would not work.
Where are we? What is this place?
I believe it's called a loft.
Okay, I know that, but whose loft is it?
And then,
Is this your place?
I lived in my
so now you just let it sit for 2 to 4 hours, which I'll let it sit overnight because I gotta
Bought it from Rich. He used to live here a while back.
get ready for bed and all that.
Well, I mean, you have.
But this was a definite success, and I will definitely I definitely want to start trying this again. This will be a lot of fun to work with, so I hope to start working with sugar glass more in the future. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I do post a lot of videos about baking. If I can ever improve it, please do like, and if you don't like it, please dislike. I mean, I want to know what everyone thinks. You're not necessarily going to get a reaction out of me if you say something rude to me about it, but I'm completely fine with whatever you want to do. It's your life, not mine. Keep safe, guys. Wear masks. Wash your hands, because I should say that so that way everyone remembers, and I don't want anyone getting hurt. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whatever it is, whenever you watch it. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!